One bullet, one guy with a gun who almost didn't even get his shot, and somehow, for years later, 17 million people are dead. If someone told you a single assassination in a city you've probably never heard of would end up dragging in Germany, Russia, France, Britain, and eventually the United States, you'd think they were exaggerating. They're not. This is how the deadliest chain reaction in human history got started, and honestly, it's kind of insane how close it came to never happening at all. So picture Europe in 1914. It's basically one giant, tangled web of promises. Every major power has quietly agreed to defend certain other powers if they ever get attacked. Germany's got Austria-Hungary's back. Russia's got Serbia's back. France has a deal with Russia. Britain's loosely tied to France. Nobody really thinks these alliances will ever actually get triggered. They're more like insurance policies nobody expects to cash in. Kind of like how you have renter's insurance but never actually think your apartment's gonna flood. Except in this case, the flood is a world war, and everyone's policies are about to activate at the exact same time. Now here's where it gets personal. On June 28, 1914, the heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, Archduke Franz Ferdinand, is riding through Sarajevo in an open car with his wife Sophie. A group of Bosnian Serb nationalists want him dead because they want Bosnia to break away from Austria-Hungary and join Serbia. Their first assassination attempt that morning is a bomb, and it completely flops. It bounces off the car and blows up the vehicle behind it. The plot seems dead. Ferdinand actually finishes his morning events like nothing happened. But then, later that day, through what can only be described as one of the worst strokes of luck in recorded history, Ferdinand's driver takes a wrong turn. He stops to reverse. And he stops directly in front of one of the assassins, a 19-year-old named Gavrilo Princip, who had basically given up and wandered off to grab a sandwich. Princip looks up, can't believe his eyes, and fires 2 shots point blank. Ferdinand and Sophie are both killed almost instantly. One wrong turn. That's genuinely all it took. Now you'd think Austria-Hungary would just, I don't know, arrest the guy and move on. But no. They see this as the perfect excuse to finally crush Serbia, which they'd wanted to do for years anyway. So they send Serbia an ultimatum with demands so humiliating it's basically designed to be rejected. Serbia agrees to almost everything, but not quite all of it. And that's enough. Austria-Hungary declares war. And this is where the dominoes start. Russia says, we're not letting Austria-Hungary bully our Slavic buddies Serbia, and starts mobilizing troops. Germany sees Russia mobilizing and goes, okay, we made a promise to Austria-Hungary, we're in too. Germany then declares war on Russia, and because Russia's allied with France, Germany decides to strike France first, before Russia can even get fully ready. But to reach France quickly, Germany invades neutral Belgium. And that one move drags Britain in, because Britain had promised to protect Belgium's neutrality decades earlier in a treaty basically nobody thought would ever actually matter. So within about a month, one assassination in one city turns into basically every major power in Europe going to war with each other. Nobody sat down and planned this. Nobody wanted this. It's less like a war that was started and more like a system of dominoes that had been set up for decades, just waiting for someone to bump the table. And that's the wild part. The alliances that were supposed to keep everyone safe are exactly what made the war unavoidable once it started. Every country felt like it had no choice but to honor its promises, even if honoring them meant dragging millions of people into the deadliest conflict the world had ever seen. So the next time someone tells you one small decision can't have massive consequences, remember Gavrilo Princip's wrong turn sandwich break. Sometimes history really does hinge on something that small.
If you enjoy videos like this, please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you.